Deepest Chamber Resurrection is the overlooked and undercooked indie love child of card battlers and dungeon crawlers. We are tasked with descending down into the Deepest Chamber. The first thing you're going to notice is the quirky visuals. While it might be off-putting to some, I actually love the look of the game and think it's one of its strongest points, reminding me a lot of the older dungeon crawlers like Legend of Grimrock. Which, sidebar, when I was writing this I was like, technically it is older, but is that phrase really applicable here? Legend of Grimrock is 14 years old at this point, and the sequel was 12 years ago. I felt myself aging when I looked that up, and I hope you did too. Paired with the visuals is a pretty good card system. Most cards in the game get boosted when you play a card adjacent to them, which provide different things like generating cards or reducing mana costs. The system works well, forcing the player to make decisions based on card order, while also never feeling outright punished if you have to do something suboptimal. The Slick keyword you can add to cards also helps with this by allowing you to freely move those cards in your hand. And if you're really in a peculiar situation, the player has a set amount of do-overs per run, which lets you restart the current combat encounter so you can try again. If you've been paying attention, you might have noticed that there are 3 portraits at the bottom of the screen. The game has 6 playable characters to form your party of 3. Each character has their own unique deck of cards that combine to form your starter deck, which increases as you win encounters. The characters feel different enough during play, even if their goal is the same. For example, the Thief, the Mage, and the Hunter generate a bunch of cards to throw at your opponent. The Mage is going to debuff the opponent to take more damage from Scorch while spamming Scorch every chance they get. The Thief is looking to stack poison on the enemy to deal consistent passive damage every turn, while the Hunter is looking to generate these food tokens to feed his companions, which boost the attacks the companions can generate each turn. There are enough cards per character that you don't have to do the same strategy every game. Sometimes I use a Necromancer for the summon spam, but other times I ignore the summons in favor of stacking spikes on my party. Or in this case, I do both. Outside of the combat screen, you will see the map screen the most. This system has been implemented tens if not hundreds of times at this point. You probably know how it works, but in case you don't, you have normal encounters, elite encounters, which are harder variants with better rewards, rest sites, random events, merchants, shrines which let you choose different things to add to a specific card in your deck, and of course, the boss at the end of the map. The system works great, which is why you see it implemented so much. Sure, it's not very original, but why reinvent the wheel when you don't have to? Also, in case you're wondering, yes, the game has relics that provide certain bonuses, and yes, there are certain useless relics you have to collect if you want to fight the true final boss. Now for the undercooked parts. The equipment system is a misstep for me. Every character has equipment types they can or can't wear, usually providing bonuses like +2 health or +1 strength. There is a clear lack of interesting equipment to get, and your characters will be maxed out relatively quickly. Look at this hat. Get used to seeing it, because even on difficulty 6, the game is still offering it to me even though I have long past its usefulness. There's an option to disregard equipment bonuses altogether, making the game harder if you choose. I think the equipment system was more of an afterthought to sell the dungeon crawler illusion here, and to help people who may be struggling with the game. The actual equipment is limited, and is mostly just slotting in the highest number, which does not take too long to obtain. The notable outlier is the fishing rod. If the fishing rod is in your inventory, certain random events give you the use fishing rod option, which gives you something. Sure, it's not crazy or anything, but little things like this help keeps the game interesting, and I wish there were a lot more options here. Another lacking feature is the in-game lore. Frankly, I don't care about this in these type of games, but for those who do, the game has a talk feature for the friendly NPCs. While providing some in-game lore, you will quickly exhaust the option, no longer being able to reread the dialogue. At certain moments in the game, you might get a little lore tidbit from a party member, but generally there's not much here. Much like the equipment system, this seems more like a we have it feature and not something truly fleshed out. You can also brew potions from ingredients you get after each encounter, nothing wild, but it lets you brew up specific potions before a run, so that's cool. Overall, Deepest Chamber Resurrection is a pretty solid card battler. I wish I had better incorporated the dungeon crawler side of things outside of the great visual style, but it's a budget indie game, so it is what it is. If you like the visuals and want another card game to try, it's only $14.49 Canadian. The game usually goes on sale for like $6, so if nothing's drawing you in right now, just wait for a sale. While it was not the next Slay the Spire, it's a pretty alright game on its own, and I have no problem recommending it. If you have any thoughts on what was shown here, leave them below. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you aren't, it helps the channel grow. My name's Yuel, and I'll see you in the next one.